Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed and this is my channel Alec Reads. Once again, I wanted to let everyone know that I will not be able to finish this fan fiction on YouTube because it goes against certain guidelines that YouTube has. So leave in the comments on whether you want me to continue or whether you would like me to stop altogether. We do have a while until the fanfiction gets close to that point, but I just wanted to let everyone know ahead of time. Anyway, we are reading chapters 10 and 11 today, so yeah, I hope you're super excited. So let's jump right into it. Chapter 10, The Beach. Nick's perspective. Time later. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for meeting with me. And remember the strategies, okay? Yep, I will, I said as Charlie and me left the room. I could tell Charlie was a bit shocked about a few things I mentioned, but he was overjoyed that I had gone. As we were walking out of the counselor's office and went by the reception, Martha said, "Bye, boys. Have a great rest of your day." Then I thought about how I actually liked talking to someone about these thoughts I'm having. "Hey, Martha, can I actually schedule my next appointment?" I said. "Of course, honey," she says. Charlie squeezed my hand and just smiled as we scheduled my next appointment. We walked out to the car holding hands and smiling. I could tell how happy Charlie was because he was swinging my arm up and down as we walk. "Charlie, are you up for the beach today?" I say. He was silent. "Charlie," I say in a concerned tone. Yeah, of course, it'll be fun," he says in a forced, happy tone. I know he hates going to the beach with other people, but at the same time, I know he wants to go, and he hates canceling plans. Charlie's perspective. The counseling was over, and a lot of thoughts were going through my head. I learned how Nick perceived himself, and it made me sick. When I think about Nick, all I can think about is how caring and sweet and genuine he was. And he thought he was an awful person. I think this counselor will actually really help him, though, because he already wanted to schedule his next appointment. I think I need to just listen more and remind him how amazing he is. We were sitting in the car, and I just zoned out and thought about the beach. Charlie, Nick yelled. I shake my head and look at him. "Sorry," I say. He looks at me with an endearing expression, then says, "Charlie, I'm turning this car around." "Wait, what? No, we're meeting Darcy, Tara, Elle, and Tao at the beach. They're already there. I just texted them we're on our way," I say loudly. Nick just keeps driving in the opposite way from the beach. "No, Charlie, you don't want to go, and that's okay. We can cuddle and watch a film," he says. I grab his thigh and look at him and say, "Babe, I appreciate your concerns, but it's okay. I promise I want to go hang out with everyone." I really did want to go, plus Elle was going to be there. "Okay, fine, but you have to promise me that if you want to go home, you will tell me," he says while turning the car around and heads toward the beach. Nick was holding my hand, and all of a sudden he starts to run down the sidewalk, pulling me along with him. I was still much faster than him, so I caught up quick and started to pull him. We got to the beach and looked around, then spotted the others all sitting down together on a blanket. "Hey guys," Nick says as we walk towards them. "Hey you two," Elle says, as Tara and Darcy come up behind Nick and give him a group hug. They knew Nick had not wanted to do counseling. They were the best. Elle seemed very chipper. She usually had a cemented frown on her face. When we were at the beach, There were tons of snacks arranged on the blanket in front of us. When I sat down, the smell of crisps and donuts made me feel uncomfortably sick and nauseated. Everyone was digging in except me. "Hey, Charlie, try these cookies. My mom made them," Elle said. My face turned sour. "Do you not like my mom or something? Why that face?" she said in an annoyed tone. "No, sorry, a bug flew in my face. I would love one. Your mom is an amazing cook," I say. Elle smiles and laughs as she hands me a warm, thick cookie with frosting and sprinkles on it. Nick looks angry and says, "Why would you even suggest that Charlie doesn't like your—" I cut him off with a shh. "Nick, I promise it's okay. Please just let it go for me," I whisper. Nick looks at me and nods slightly. Then Elle says, "What were you going to say, Nick?" He just responds with, "Oh, nothing." She continues her conversation with Tara. I stare at the cookie. The last thing I wanted to do right now was eat, so I just held it until Nick discreetly took it out of my hands and ate it quickly. I get up and sit myself in between his legs and say, "You're the sweetest person ever." Nick squeezes my cheeks together and says, "We're in public, save the cuteness for at home." I look at him and say, "Oh, really?" Then start kissing him on the cheek and neck. "Charlie," he whispers in a stern tone to not bring any attention to us. I stop and say, "Fine." "Guys, let's go play volleyball in the water," Tara says. Immediately, I know I don't want to play or even get wet. I was wearing a white t-shirt, and if I got wet, it would become see-through. I can't believe I was so stupid to wear a white t-shirt to the beach. I usually go in the water, but I never take my shirt off. But I can go in the water now. I was wearing a white t-shirt. The thought of it made me feel uncomfortable and awkward. Everyone gets excited about the idea of playing water volleyball. I don't. Tara says, "Okay, well, we have 6 people. It's perfect. How about Elle, Charlie, and Nick are on a team? Me, Darcy, and Tao are on a team." No, I can't. I won't. I just wanted to scream. I hate the beach. Nick was about to say something, but I interrupted. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. I don't want to play. But trust me, Nick can play good enough for both of us. Everyone laughs and agrees. The instant relief, I felt my face stop sweating, and my face went pale again. Nick then says, "Yeah, trust me, you don't want to see Charlie play volleyball. He's awful." He looks over at me and winks. I hug him and get really close to his ear and whisper, "Thank you. God, he was perfect." Chapter 11. The Water Crisis. Charlie's perspective. I was so relieved that Nick had said that it just backed up my story. Tara then grabs my hand and says, "Charlie, come on, you have to be the referee." I run down the beach holding Tara's hand and let her go as her and the others run into the water. I was so hot the back of my neck was sweating, and I had massive pit stains, but I didn't want to step foot in the water. I didn't want to risk getting splashed. I sat down on the beach by the shore and kept score for the others. Something inside me wished it was just me and Nick at the beach, so I could play with him, and it looked fun. Nick's team won, of course. After the match was over, Nick came running towards me, and the others were still in the water goofing around. "I missed your smile," he says. I blush and kiss him. As we're kissing, he feels the back of my neck and pulls away and gasps, "Charlie, you're sweating like crazy. Walk through the water a little to cool yourself off while I go grab you a water from the cooler." "Thank you," I say in a relieved tone. The cold water feels good on my feet. Tao notices me and runs over and says, "Charlie, you look super hot. Come play Marco Polo with us." As I'm saying, "No, I'm okay," I feel my head submerge into water. Tao pushed me in the water. My heart pounded. I resurfaced my head, and all I could think about was to keep swimming deeper until I couldn't touch anymore, so no one could see me. I start to swim away, and Tao says, "Isn't that so much better?" I nod and say, "Oh yeah, so much better," then start swimming as fast as I can towards the middle of the lake. I just want to keep swimming away and never stop. As I was swimming away, tears start coming out of my eyes like crazy. My breath starts to stutter and stagger. I felt betrayed by my best friend. I was pretty far out now, and I just floated on my back to catch my breath. Nick's perspective. I went to go get Charlie some water. He was sweating bullets. I knew he didn't want to go in the water in front of our friends because he was wearing a white shirt. It would become completely see-through. "Charlie?" I yell, puzzled because I didn't see him on the beach anywhere. I run down to the lake shore and ask, "Where's Charlie?" I brought him water because he was hot. Tao was standing beside me and said, "Don't worry, I fixed that problem. He was sweating a crap ton, so I just shoved him in the water. Boom. Problem solved." I scream, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" and push him to the ground. He landed straight on his ass. I had no time to waste on him. I needed to find Charlie. I swam out to the others and asked in a panicked state, "Did you see where Charlie swam off to?" Elle said, "No. Why? What's happened?" Then Tara said, "I'm pretty sure Darcy said something about going to talk to Charlie. She kind of sounded worried. What's going on?" Before answering her, I just started swimming, and then got blinded by a shiny object in the distance. Then I looked closer, and it was the gold clasp shining on Darcy's swimsuit. I dart towards her. Finally, I come up behind her and say, while huffing, "Do you know where Charlie is?" She turns around, crying. Her arm was around Charlie, unconscious. She could barely hold his head above the water. I look at her in shock. Take Charlie out of her arms. He was barely breathing. She was exhausted from holding them both above water. She was hysterically crying and says, "Thank God you came. I didn't think we were going to make it back." I need to think fast. I saw a little island close to us. It was disgusting and was filled with reeds and leeches, but I knew Darcy couldn't swim all the way back, and I couldn't carry them both at the same time. "Darcy, you've got to trust me. I'm going to swim Charlie over to that island over there. Float on your back and wait here, and I'll be right back for you." She nods her head. I didn't waste 1 second. I swam over to the island. It was disgusting. The weeds were full of leeches, and it was super mucky. I leave Charlie in the middle of the small island, away from the water, and kissed him on the head before going back for Darcy. I swam so quickly, faster than I ever swam before. I finally reached Darcy again. She was floating on her back, almost sinking. "Darcy, thank you," I say as she climbed onto my back. I headed us to the little island. The reeds wrapped around my ankles. I could feel what felt like 50 leeches on me. I pulled us onto the island. Me and Darcy hugged while crying for a few seconds. After we rushed over to Charlie, I kept repeating his name over and over while crying, and tears falling onto his face. He blinks his eyes open and shut. I sit him up, and he just sits there with his eyes closed. I knew something was seriously wrong with him. "We need to stay here for a bit until we have enough energy to swim back," I say to Darcy. She was still crying and nodded before kissing Charlie on the cheek and saying, I love you. Please, please wake up." As she's saying those things, I notice she's shivering. The island was covered in shade from the nearby rocks. I hug her tight and pull Charlie into my lap. I just keep repeating, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," and over again to Darcy. I couldn't because she saved him. Thank you so much for listening. That is the end of chapter 11. We will start on chapter 12 in the next video. I just want to put a trigger warning for the next couple videos, and just for this fanfiction in general, just because it can get kind of dark with the mental health issues that come along with the entire Heartstopper fandom. But just remember to keep yourself safe and to stop listening when things become too much for you, and remember to take care of yourself. But like and subscribe, comment, and leave any recommendations for fanfictions or books you would like to see in the future down in the comments. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and I will see you later. Bye, friends. Bye, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Have a good day.